What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Renegade Capes on the Renegade Pop Culture Podcast Network. My name is Mike. I'll be your host for this evening. Joining me, as always, is the Organoid Zero, Brock.
How's it going?
And we've got the Streamin Demon, Jacob.
Hey.
And this is our spoiler review for Marvel's Shang-Chi and Legend of the Ten Rings. So, Jacob, I'll start with you. Since Brock and I did our own Marvel Hour review a week ago, what are some of your general impressions?
Well, I liked that we finally have a Phase 4 Marvel entry that wasn't a continuation of anything. For one thing, I liked how it wasn't a sequel. It wasn't just backstory. It was just introducing us to a brand new cast of characters, letting them breathe, letting them do their own thing. Like, for sure, they're going to be featured in future movies. But I just liked that finally we have a standalone, like an origin story that allows these characters to exist in their own unique world. And I loved the drama in it. I loved the character dynamics. I loved the mythology. It was a good time. I really thoroughly enjoyed it.
Awesome. Since our first review, I've had a chance to see the film a second time.
Cool.
And
nice.
I'm pretty sure that after that second viewing, it is solidified that this movie is in. I'm still vague when it comes to my Marvel rankings, so I call it like
there's a lot.
I call it top 1/3.
Yeah.
So if there's what, like 25-ish movies now.
Yeah, this is officially the 25th Marvel movie.
Yeah, so
we're a fourth of the way through 100 Marvel movies.
The thing is, what makes it funny is, this series started in 2008, and this is the 25th one. To put that in the context, No Time to Die is going to be the 25th Bond movie, and that series started in 1962.
It is kind of nuts.
Yeah, and I love how like ever since 2013, the amount of movies per year has like ever so slightly increased. Mm-hmm. Like the first time we had more than one movie per year was 2011. We got Captain America and Thor within like a few months. And then just Avengers in 2012. In 2013, it was Iron Man 3 and Thor: The Dark World. In 2014 was Captain America, The Winter Soldier, and Guardians of the Galaxy. And then like it was either 2017 or 2018.
2017.
Yeah, 2017 is when we started to play around with maybe we can do 3 movies a year.
Yeah, they start 3. 2017 was Guardians of the Galaxy 2, Spider-Man Homecoming, and Thor Ragnarok.
Yep.
And now they're going to have if you notch the years partway through the years and don't go by January to December, like this next couple chunk of months, it's going to have like 7. If you branch it between a year period, just like notching up how many happened in the however many month span, it's going to be kind of nuts.
That, and when you include the TV shows, there will always be a Marvel character like circulating in the discourse.
That's nuts. It's certifiably insane how well-oiled that machine is.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Brock, for those who didn't watch our Zero Hour, how are you feeling since your initial viewing?
I still do like it a lot. It has got the best shot action scenes in a Marvel movie ever. They don't cut it a bunch, like the scenes on the bus. And like I told Mike during our initial review, there's one scene on the bus where it turns into a side-scrolling beat-em-up from a video game. And it was awesome.
Yeah,
a lot of shots like that are just so needed, because it's one criticism that I do tend to agree that people give is that sometimes the fights in Marvel movies, especially between people that don't have powers, can get kind of choppy. But yeah, it's the commitment to having all of this put together, how it was, is great. I'm still a little iffy on how they handled the end fight. It could have been a little bit better, in my opinion, once the dragons and stuff got involved. But outside of that, it's really, really good. It's one of the best origin stories they put together. That's for sure.
Easily.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of the bus scene, I saw a video on Twitter this morning that showed a little bit of behind the scene of the bus, like coming down the street and just demolishing a line of cars.
Oh,
it was. I'm seriously wondering how much of that scene was shot practically and how much is CG.
It's crazy what they do nowadays.
What does Marvel have against San Francisco?
I know, right?
First Ant-Man and the Wasp, now this.
And also technically Venom.
Technically.
It's not as much as Tyrese would love to say those are entrenched in the MCU.
Yeah.
No, wait, is that? No, that's Morbius. Morbius is the one he's trying to say, isn't that? I forgot. He's in Morbius. Sorry.
It's funny how Sony just completely forgot Morbius exists.
Yeah, I love how they're like, no, wait, Venom, shoot that thing up a month. Keep delaying Morbius.
Yeah, Morbius. Yeah.
The great part is like, that's going to have a small tie into the rest small, because like the Vulture's in that movie for however long he's in the trailer. So it's going to be weird if like you start seeing ties to other movies where the Vulture's in it, like Far From Home, like No Way Home. And then just to like, let's ignore that little itty bitty part where he was in Morbius just because it's going to be really freaking out of whack now.
Yeah.
So getting back to Shang-Chi, I'm actually kind of torn now between the two like big fight scenes on the bus and in the scaffolding, which one I like better. I think the bus scene has a little bit more it's a little bit more grounded, at least towards the beginning. But the actual choreography of the scaffolding is, I think, a little bit more impressive.
Oh yeah.
Because of how they had to shoot that thing.
Yeah.
Jacob, out of the two, which one did you find more entertaining?
I'm gonna have to go with the scaffolding one, just because it's such a, I don't know, it's just something about that particular environment that has a sort of tension to it. You know, it's just like this unfinished part of a building that just kind of freaks me out to think about having a fight scene in that environment.
And Brock, what about you?
I'm actually taking the bus scene because unless I'm forgetting a good chunk of it, outside of like Age of Ultron, there's not a lot of times where in MCU movies where they're consistently dealing with civilians being in the exact like 5 feet of where they're fighting.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So that's where I was kind of like, where he's like grabbing people so their face isn't smashing into cars as the bus is going across, and like it was different for that reason alone. It kind of tips it over because it was that different for me. So I take the bus scene.
He could have spared that lady's laptop though.
That is true.
How inconsiderate of him.
Yeah.
Also, someone pointed out that the dude that's videotaping Shang-Chi has been in Marvel movies before.
He was the do a flip guy in I think Homecoming.
There we go. I couldn't remember what movie. He was in it for a little bit, but there you go. Like,
my question though is, what is he doing, like in San Francisco?
I don't know, but it's awesome that even little itty bitty characters like that are used. Like someone pointed out that newscaster that's been on everything to like the Punisher, to every Marvel thing where there's a newscast. He's been in like 8 different properties. I'm like, I never noticed that, but
also in Xiaoling's Fight Club, you see one shot of a Black Widow fighting some random dude with the Extremis.
Yes, the Extremis. We did not mention that before, but I remember the Extremis. By the way, when you guys talked before, I wasn't able to be a part of it because I had some crap come up. Did any of you come up with a logical reason for the Wong and Abomination fight? Because that is still my biggest unanswered. That scene makes no sense in that movie.
I haven't been able to find anything.
Maybe that's the appeal of it, is that it's such a random pairing. Like sometimes I do like it in movies or shows where you have a pairing of characters that you would just never imagine being together. Like it's happening a lot with What If, especially in the latest episode.
Yeah,
which we'll get to later. But yeah, so far I've tried to look for like specific explanations for like why these two, and I've come up short.
And why it's like him taking him out for recess for where he's held. Like I told Mike during our review, I'm like, that thing is a bigger mystery than me than what they brought up in that end credit scene. Because I'm like, cool, that's sending a signal to something else that I can understand. I'm like, you took Abomination out for recess, had a fight, and then took him back to a UFC ring for the looks. But I'm like, if they never address it again, I'm gonna laugh. If that was just a random thing, they were like, yeah, he just felt like fighting Abomination, and then he walked back out.
That is, by the way, I don't know if you guys know that, but that was Tim Roth doing the voices for the Abomination.
Good.
Yeah, I think
that was
him.
I like how we finally can get to the point where we're. Go ahead.
I like that was something, in the What If episode that was basically a murder mystery. I'm glad they acknowledged Incredible Hulk. Finally Marvel acknowledges it outside of having William Hurt, and cool. It's great that we see Betty Ross again, but tell me that wouldn't be better if they actually went out and got Liv Tyler for that.
I'm waiting for something because that's exactly what I was going to say. I'm like, people can stop. I don't know what this giant hard-on everyone has to go where, yeah, Edward Norton, it was a different universe. That was before it counted. I don't care that Robert Downey Jr. showed up in the freaking post-credit scene.
Yeah.
It just doesn't count. And then Abomination shows up and all those people are like, still doesn't count to me. I'm like, come on. Why? What is the hard-on to stop that movie from counting?
Well, they retconned that by like having Mark Ruffalo like essentially wear Edward Norton's clothes, and he has the same haircut. Yeah. So that is according to this universe, that did happen. It's just that it was with Mark instead of Edward.
Yeah, it's just
also Abomination has the fish ears.
Yep.
Yeah, that kind of threw me off. I was like, wait, that is the Abomination, right? Because I remember him having that Incredible Hulk.
Nope, he didn't. They just made him look a little bit more comic book accurate. Like that's the one thing they were missing was his fish ears.
Okay.
It's like, yeah, it's one just one of those little things that you could tell, and it was like, I didn't care that they weren't there and there, but it's like, no one will ask why he doesn't have them now. So.
Okay, so Brock, what were you saying before I so rudely interrupted you?
Literally what you said.
Oh.
I'm happy that they're including the Incredible Hulk stuff now. That's literally what I was going to say.
Oh,
so, yeah.
Serendipity. Were you going to bring up that Betty wasn't actually voiced by Liv Tyler?
No, I don't remember. I wasn't going to bring that up, but I'm like, we need to. That's the one. I was going to bring up Betty. I was like, that's the one thing that hasn't been brought back. That and the Thinker. That is the one plot line again that just went right out the window.
Yeah. Yeah, what's unfortunate, like to a lot of people, that might as well be Ang Lee's Hulk.
As far as that part of it, probably. That's probably never coming back. But
it would be so nice to get like a proper Hulk movie, but
Universal, they're not going to let Marvel have it.
Yeah, that is one thing that I try explaining to people, and they're just like, nah, movies don't work that way. I'm like, you should look into rights once, because for a while, Marvel has the rights to animation for Spider-Man, but they don't have it for movies because that stuff's different.
And apparently in Disneyland, they can't have the Marvel park actually be called Marvel because Universal has the rights to have. They already have a Marvel place in Universal Studios, Florida.
That makes sense. That is just... and then it's like, who has Namor again?
I think that was Universal.
That was Universal too. It's just like, well, it's weird. Rights are weird. Marvel went through some shit in the 90s, folks.
Speaking of rights,
when they had to sell their rights to all these different studios just to remain afloat.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of rights, there is a very specific reason why the Mandarin is in this movie, other than to appease both fans and dissenters of Iron Man 3.
Well, also, I was very happy that they didn't have a character named Fu Manchu, be Shang-Chi's father.
Yeah. So the reason why the Mandarin is in this movie is because A, Marvel no longer has the rights to Fu Manchu, and B, that character is racist as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, oh no, they don't have the rights.
Oh no, whatever shall we do?
Who's holding those? Who?
I don't know, but I'm glad that we got the Mandarin in this movie.
Exactly. And he was not called. That is one thing I'm glad they called out, that they're like, okay, that name was dumb. It's racist. And I, as a person who would withhold that stature of that character, would not want to be called that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Also, in my opinion, much like how I think Kingpin makes a better Daredevil villain than a Spider-Man villain, I think the Mandarin is a better Shang-Chi villain.
This version of the Mandarin.
This version, yes.
Yes. Does Jacob know?
I do. I know that Shang-Chi... the Mandarin is basically Iron Man's arch enemy.
No, that's not what I was bringing up. Probably a good reason why the Mandarin's not accurate in this movie is because...
Yeah, I know. It's not accurate. I know it's incredibly racist. I have heard of that.
Well, no, not that. The 10 rings are essentially 2 more Infinity Gauntlets.
Oh, okay.
Is that what's going to powers?
I'll rifle through them again. On his left hand, on his pinky, he has an ice blast that can freeze the air in its path. It can lower an object's temperature to absolute 0. On his ring finger, the Mento Intensifier magnifies the Mandarin's psychic energy, enabling him to mentally control a person, effective only at short range. Middle, Electroblast emits quantities of electric energy determined by the wearer. Upper limits, output is unknown. Index finger is a flame blast, an infrared radiation that can cause air to incandice by igniting its molecules. Maximum output is unknown. And the thumb is white light, emits many types of energy from electromagnetic spectrum, frequently used to intensify the visibility in laser beams. Right hand, pinky is black light, creates an area of absolute darkness where light is absorbed. It's believed this ring can access the dark force used by people such as Darkstar and the Shroud. Ring finger, disintegration beam, destroys bonds between atoms and molecules, causing an object's cohesion to fall apart, needs 20 minutes to recharge between uses. Middle finger, vortex beam, causes air to swirl about in a vortex at high speed, can levitate objects, propel wearer, Mandarin, in a fight, and is used as a weapon. Index finger, impact beam, projects concussive force at approximately 350 pounds of TNT, can also cause intense sonic vibrations and magnetic waves. And the thumb is the matter rearranger, can rearrange atoms and molecules of substances or speeds, slow up and down their movements, and result in various effects, cannot actually transmute elements.
But can it wipe out half the universe, though?
No, but it's still pretty comparable to each one's got a different power.
Okay.
So I was like, this makes sense. And also, if he's going to fight Shang-Chi, got to depower him a bit.
Yeah.
Especially since Shang-Chi gets them, it makes a lot more sense for them to be toned down, which this is a really cool version of the 10 Rings, in my opinion.
I agree. Although what's kind of funny is, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the pitch meeting series on Screen Rant's YouTube channel.
Yes.
Like one of the first jokes is, so the guy's going to give his pitch. It's Shang-Chi and the Legend of the 10 bracelets.
That's right. They really could have called it that. That is, that's
They're
weird.
not all what?
That they're not called bracelets instead of rings. Essentially, they're bracelets, but they are in a ring shape. So they
Yeah.
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 They're like rings in the same way that like Sonic's golden rings are.
Yeah, exactly. And he does find them in comics. He finds them in this ancient valley, so it's technically a weird off-brand who's it thing like this. But yeah, I don't remember if they made him immortal in comics, but the fact that they made him an immortal ruler because of them is awesome. That's a great little touch.
Yeah. It's basically that pretty much makes him Marvel's version of Vandal Savage in a way.
Sure.
I mean, far from being like a total immortal.
Would you compare him to being more like Marvel's version of Raish?
I think he's a little bit of both.
A little bit of both? Okay. Because Raish has got the longevity, but not quite as long as Savage, depending on where you're going.
The reason I bring up Savage is because the origin of how he got his power.
Oh, you are right. You are right with that. That is true.
But both because, you know, from a storytelling position, like the Mandarin and Raish are kind of positioned in like the same fashion.
Yes, that is true. And what is the guy's name that plays him again?
Tony Leone.
He did so good. I hope he's brought up in flashbacks because, man, that dude pulled off Stone Cold Killer really well.
Mm-hmm.
That scene when he walks in with Shang into that parlor, like he's not about to just murder 10 people with his teenage son standing next to him, is awesome.
Yes. So I didn't mention this earlier, but this movie is directed by Destin Daniel Cretton, who has directed other films like Short Term 12, Glass Castle, and Just Mercy. And one thing that he's really good at is pretty much telling like
Drama.
Yeah. And first of all, Jacob, I want to ask you
about an intimate family drama because I never seen The Glass Castle, but I have seen what it's basically about. It's about a family that's living off the grid, and Woody Harrelson, like, he thinks that he's doing his kids a favor, but he's just abusing them basically.
Yeah. Have you seen his other two films? The other ones were Short Term 12.
I've seen Short Term 12.
And then the other one was Just Mercy.
That one I have not.
I've seen all of them, and honestly, they're each great in their own unique ways. But the common through line is like the intimate family drama. Because even Short Term 12, while it's not like an actual family, it's just like it's one of those. I'm not sure the right term for it. Like it's one of those like halfway homes. That's what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's one of the strengths of this movie too. The the emphasis on family, the importance of understanding and accepting your your background, accepting your past and embracing the future.
I love how also in the movie that it's like, I escaped him for 10 years. No, I let you live your life for 10 years and now I'm done. The false fact of like he was always keeping tabs on him is great, because it's one thing that would have made him for how long he's been doing this seem weird, that he would just lose track of him for 10 years.
Yeah, I mean he's been alive for about 1,000. 10 years is like, it's like, go play in the background. Like,
exactly.
Go play outside. I'll call you when dinner's ready.
Exactly. And I was not expecting to like that they barely show her, but how great his sister was.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So for those who don't know, this was Mangar Zhang's first. I want to say first like major theatrical film, but fuck it, this is her first film, period, and she crushed it,
killed it in performing and in life, because she entered the production single and left married.
Also, she is still my favorite character.
I think I would agree.
Yeah.
Jacob, do you concur?
Yeah. I really don't have anything to add. You know, she had a real presence in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, probably some of the best screen presence from a complete novice that I've seen in a while.
She knows how to carry herself in a scene, that's for sure.
Less surprising, but just as great, I thought, was Awkwafina as Katie.
Yes, and I like how they just kept them as friends.
Right.
Awkwafina, I don't care what anyone says.
That's another thing that they joked about in the pitch meeting. It's like, oh, but they just stay friends, but they're two different genders. But okay,
it's fine.
Yep. They're friends.
It's one thing I loved about Winter Soldier. There was no love interest outside of a couple of jokes from Black Widow and a one short meme with Carter. The movie just got to be the movie. It's nice to have that every now and then.
Agreed. So we haven't talked about this yet. We get to see Trevor Slattery again after 7 years since Hail to the King.
That's
8. I was going to say Iron Man 3. Never mind. Go on.
Yeah, it's crazy. Almost a decade.
Yeah. Now what do you guys think of him being the vessel for Maurice?
I liked him. Any reason to just see Ben Kingsley again? That's worth the price of admission.
Exactly.
Same.
And the fact that he was in for that long was nuts. Was not expecting that.
Yeah, I thought at first, like when we first meet him, that he's just gonna be here for the silly little prison scene, but then Morris comes out and it's like, okay, so this is where they're going.
Mm-hmm. Maurice, or the Marvel Gizmo, as I like to call him.
Yeah.
All Disney cares about is, hey, we're gonna make another plushie and sell like $1 billion.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
You could bet he's going to show up in other Shang-Chi movies.
Yeah, Groot hasn't been a baby in 4 years.
That's true.
And teenage Groot's not nearly as cute.
Yeah, they gotta
I need to know, when you guys saw Iron Man 3 back in 2013, how did you feel about the Mandalorian twist? The Mandarin twist, sorry.
I loved it.
I was always in.
I loved it.
Okay.
Now, one thing I have to ask you, Jacob, because I had a rant about this on our 0 Hour review. A lot of people get mad when roles are whitewashed. I'm one of them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind if you take a white character, do whatever, as long as if it fits the character, it's fine. But when no one complained about Ben Kingsley, Sir Ben Kingsley, you can't get any more not Asian than Ben Kingsley, got announced to be the Mandarin. There wasn't a peep. Why? Because Ben Kingsley's awesome.
Mm.
And then they started bitching
Right.
as soon as he wasn't the Mandarin. So they didn't care that he was playing an Asian character. They just got upset as soon as he wasn't playing an Asian character.
Oh yeah.
Like, what?
Slight correction.
Yeah.
Ben Kingsley actually isn't white. He's white, but he is white passing. His dad.
I
his dad is.
Yeah. He's of Indian descent because that's why he was able to play Gandhi.
Yep. That's why I wasn't claiming that he was white. I'm just saying Sir Ben Kingsley. You can't get more not Asian so dumb. It's like, come on.
I knew what you meant. I just wanted to point that out.
Okay. Yeah, it's weird. We also brought up freaking Liam Neeson as Ra's al Ghul and no one complained.
Ditto Tom Hardy as Bane.
Yeah.
I am honestly more upset about that than probably any other whitewashing.
Mm-hmm. But get Dave Bautista in the DCU.
Yes. Actually, I will say this: the twist and the Mandarin twist in Iron Man 3 made sense. It thematically made sense because the movie was about putting on a disguise. Was putting on because Tony put on a disguise when he was trying to appeal braver than he actually was. And you had the War Machine, which was just an Iron Man suit, but just painted red, white, and blue.
Yep.
So yeah,
absolutely.
That it made sense, but there are some people who heard that the Mandarin was going to be in Shang-Chi, and they're like, "Oh, so you could include the Mandarin in a movie without it being a racial stereotype." So that's the reason why they got a little pissy at that.
Oh, yeah, because it was just going to be like, you're just going to ruin him again and be stupid. It's like, no. And it's like, with the racial stereotype thing, I'm glad that they had the conversation where they're like, okay, that naming convention was dumb. Back then, it was dumb. And I will not be addressed as such because I am not.
Yeah, I'm very glad that scenes like that were included.
Mm-hmm. And it didn't seem like, what do I want to say? It didn't seem forced.
Right.
It seemed like him addressing the stupidity of the Americans that called him that.
Right.
And I appreciated it because that was really on the nose in that part of it. But it meant to be because they're addressing something they've done in the past, not trying to recorrect something. I was like,
yeah, like they named him. They got the name from a duck dish.
Yes. So well done.
Yeah, that's some clever lampshading there.
Mm-hmm. Everything in that movie was addressed well, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, I think the last time you and I spoke, Brock, I had like very slight complaints about the third act battle with Shang-Chi kind of like doing his thing with the 10 rings.
Mm-hmm. We both kind of did.
I the second time I saw the movie, I didn't really have much to complain about with the with that fight because like we mentioned before, the nature of the 10 rings has been, well, obviously changed from the comics, but changed even between users.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, B, it doesn't matter how the rings work, it's how he makes them work.
Yeah.
Like putting his own spin on this ancient weapon.
Yeah. It's going to be cool that he gets to use them more often too, because it's a great visual effect how they mastered how those rings work and how it'll be cool to see, because there can be moments where they can have him be really cocky in future movies to be like, I don't need to use the rings. I'll just beat your ass with my bare hands. It's just like, it's opening up a lot of cool possibilities with him being a martial arts master. And I'm excited. It opens up a lot of cool possibilities.
Oh yeah. Now let's talk a little bit more about Ta Lung, because like some people complain that the second act of this movie is where things slow down. I don't disagree that like structurally it is a bit slower, but I disagree that that's a bad thing. Mm-hmm. Like I like being able to take in all the visuals and get to meet like the people like from this alternate universe. And yes, they do call it a universe. Unlike Wakanda, which is just
over there.
Yeah. Jacob, what'd you think of Ta Lung?
Ta Lung, and did is that the name of the place? That
yeah, that's the place
I was a
where,
little distracted. I'm sorry.
You're good.
It was cool. Like, you know, it was, you know, like it's. I'll be honest. I first thought that the older lady who greeted them was their mother.
That was a possibility at first.
Yeah. I only
and then she said, "You look just like your mother." In subtitles, and then I was like, "Oh, okay. So why would she say that? Not you look just like me."
Yeah.
Right. I only thought that really in the trailers. But then the line, "You are your mother, and whether you like it or not, you are your father," kind of didn't really make sense with that in mind. So I'm like, oh, okay, so clearly she's another relative.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And also just Michelle Yeoh is awesome.
She is.
Like if nothing else, this movie almost kind of brings her out of retirement as an action star, because she's been showing up in recent Hollywood movies, but more just as like a minor supporting character, where here like she gets to kick ass again.
Mm-hmm. And I didn't think that was going to happen. I never thought in a million years that was going to happen. And it's like, I think the last movie that I remember seeing her in was Crouching Tiger.
Yeah, that might be the last one, as far as I can remember.
For action, where she did a lot of stuff like that. She's been in obviously other stuff since then because she works, but just this is so cool. It's just like getting to see that come back, because that was one of my favorite movies when I was growing up, and it was great. And that was, I heard someone kind of complain that it, and this is a movie that I like, but I will admit that it does slow it down, that it kind of had the rebooted Mortal Kombat syndrome in the middle, where they had to wait to have all the action. This handled that sort of situation a lot better.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. We, you and I, at least, we talked about Mortal Kombat and Snake Eyes fairly positive.
Mm-hmm.
And predictably, the Marvel movie comes in and says, "Hold my beer."
Pretty much. Outside of bloodshed, which they, minus having the bloodshed, so people get wrecked at the end of this movie, including a character that I thought was going to be very important, Death Dealer, just gets unceremoniously outed. Just gone.
Honestly, when they first showed Shang-Chi waking up, I thought that we were gonna see him in a boxing match, like a wrestling match, like in Mortal Kombat and in Snake Eyes. When actually it turns out, he's just a chauffeur. Because that's such a cliche now that you start out with the last two movies, you have a guy kind of as a backstory, and then next thing you see him doing is cage fighting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I'm glad that they avoid kind of quite a few cliches. We talked about there not being a love interest, like Sean. By the way, I'm still cackling. I'm still cackling at that scene for how they spent a whole minute like debating the the correct.
Oh yeah, on the plane,
and it's ruined me because I'm used to Shanghai and I'm used to Shang Tsung. So now that comes along and it's Shang, and my entire life is like, have I been saying that wrong? Is Ed Boon stupid? It's like, what is this? And then also the fact
for the
that
longest time I thought.
Go ahead.
Yeah, for the longest time I called this movie Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings.
Yeah. And then the fact that they openly address in the movie how dumb Shang was, where he's like, your name is Shang, and you disguised yourself as Sean. You expected him not to find you when you changed a syllable? He's like, I was 15. It's still stupid.
Yeah.
Should have named yourself like Carl. That's one thing that I appreciate that movies do every now and then, and they do it in a proper manner like this one, where it's like, stupid thing happened, but you can be excused because they addressed it in a proper manner. Yeah, as the people knowing that it's stupid.
Yeah.
Also, it kind of feels like that that scene kind of lampshades the MCU's complete disregard of superhero secret identities.
How Peter Parker is pretty much the only one that has one, and it's turned into a plot detail of his third movie.
Yeah.
to even the point that Doctor Strange is like, You're leaving a double life. You can't do that.
Yeah. Sorry, man. Gosh. That's like, that's one thing that people don't even realize sometimes. Like, I just bring that up and I'm like, isn't it kind of weird how we got even through Civil War and it wasn't about secret identities? And the people.
You guys know those How I Should Have Ended animations?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they did one on Iron Man, and it shows him at the cafe with Batman and Superman, and he's recapping the events of the ending. He says, I was at the press conference, and I told everyone I'm Iron Man. And Superman and Batman are like, what? Dude!
You can't do that!
Yeah. Yeah. Your arch enemies will threaten the people you love.
They cut forward to 2 movies later. He's telling them his home address just in case they didn't realize it.
Yeah.
Blatant disregard. It's like, but yeah, Jacob, how did you feel about the fact that at the end of the movie, the last fight was not with Wenwu?
I didn't mind.
Were you expecting that?
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have huge expectations for these Marvel movies because they don't always follow them exactly.
Okay.
I mean,
so,
unless
they
throw
a curveball at you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, unless you're a hardcore fan of the comics, I don't think anyone was expecting a fight between a giant, like, demon squid
death bat.
Yeah, like, I don't think anyone expected a fight between that and the Great Protector.
Yes.
I mean, it was awesome, but like, I don't think anyone was really expecting that.
No, because like you only ever see him in the water talking to him, and in my mind, that was like a vision that he saw. That's what I figured that was going to be anyway. But yeah. And when we talked with during the review on my channel. We talked about how this is kind of like turning like their version of Lord of the Rings as far as like mythical creatures go. Because like you had the rhinos in Wakanda, and you saw like Korg in the Thor movies, but there wasn't that many out there things outside of frost giants. You had all sorts of stuff just popping up in here that had no explanation for why it had to be why it was. It's just because it could be.
It's basically Pandora.
Exactly.
Basically.
Yeah.
My favorite though is like once they park the car and they see like the weird horses, and Slatter's just like, "Oh, hello, you strange looking horse."
Horse. Yes. And it's like they have I also said to Mike that they basically, it's like, they don't have anything like Ragnarok when it got destroyed. Shang-Chi happens. Say hello to our new version of Ragnarok. Or I mean, of Asgard.
Oh, yeah. I mean, New Asgard now is just like that sea shanty town.
Yeah.
But if they wanted to, here's Asgard.
Pretty much. This is their new mystical place that they can explore a bunch of stuff through. So
Did anyone...
Go ahead.
Speaking of which, did you guys see parallels between Shang-Chi and Wenwu's relationship with Thor and Odin?
To a degree.
Like, because both fathers have done bad stuff, right?
Yeah.
Well, sure. But
I think the difference would be is that Odin, until the end, wouldn't have admitted it was bad. And I think Wenwu openly knew he was being bad. Yeah. This is their way of handling certain things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Plus, it seems like with Odin, he's far more ashamed of his past, whereas Wenwu is like, okay, I love this woman, so I'm going to settle down, but it's not like he gave up the rings. He has them like first in safekeeping.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but yeah, and then someone brought up, who was it? That they thought that the person that Shang is sent to murder by his dad was going to be Awkwafina's grandmother.
Huh.
Or was there a grandmother from the farewell?
I can't remember exactly what it was. I believe it was grandmother. It was some character she mentions dying in the movie.
Oh, well, then they're a grandmother in the farewell.
Yeah. But yeah, they're just like, but yeah, there was like, they thought that was going to be it. So that was going to draw attention between them. But it's like, okay. But yeah. And they also, I can't remember, brought up what the actual soul, what were they called?
Soul Eaters.
Soul Eaters were in the comics. Wow, do they look different? They look like He-Man villains. Like, I can't remember what exactly He-Man villain looks like, but like the thin head and some random other things, and it's different. It's not a giant like squid. Are you seeing it now?
Yeah, I'm looking at one of them. Well, the picture I saw was for a krill, spelled K''RLL.
Okay.
I don't know if that's supposed to be the same thing, but wow, it looks completely different than what was depicted in the film.
Yeah, it's not even remotely close. It's kind of nuts. But, and you know what? They've done that with stuff before, and I'm okay with that because I was very more okay with this version than I would have gotten, like I said, the He-Man villain of what it kind of looks like in the comics.
That's one thing I've always kind of liked about the MCU is that when they make changes to certain characters or like, you know, some of the more out there ideas on the page, they translate it in a way that's more accessible for a general audience, but without losing the core of what made these characters appealing in the first place.
Yep, they're very good at rejiggering things, and that's what happens when you have a comic book aficionado and fanboy. Kevin Feige is probably sitting there going, "That could work. That could rejigger it that way."
Yeah, like he's looking through like a catalog and going, that's good. No, that's good. That's crap. That's crap. Oh, that can work. That like newcomers can like new audiences can be receptive to that. That can be like that. That's one. Nope.
Yep, and exactly. And he's one of those people that understands where it's like, yeah, that's how it was when I read it. I don't think we.
Yeah, you can only go so weird.
Yeah, exactly. Unless you get people again like James, where it's like, hey, Kevin, I know some weird stuff too. What's acceptable?
Yeah. Apparently, Eternals. I'm interested to see how weird that looks. They say that it's going to be full on Jack Kirby.
Yeah, I'm hoping because they do.
Even I know what that means.
Like that. Yes, they don't have anything like that in the MCU.
Yeah.
Not even close.
And the best thing about Eternals is this wasn't a pitch that like Kevin came up with. This was Chloe Zhao who went to Kevin Feige herself and like, I want to do this. And then Feige's like, okay, do that.
Yeah.
That reminds me of the thing that I told Mike about. I can't remember exactly what it was, but the original 10 movies that Marvel pitched the studio off of, Shang-Chi was one of them. I looked back at it the other day. It was also Nick Fury, just Nick Fury, and Power Pack was in there too.
Wow. I was always thinking like Power Pack would have made a great like it would have made like a great animated movie like how Big Hero 6 went to Disney Animation.
Mm-hmm.
I figured like Power Pack would be like one of the next ones. But now that Marvel has like their own animation offshoot, they can do some of those like some of those more obscure characters.
Yep, like I'm just waiting for the day when they announce
Next Wave.
Well, that and Squirrel Girl. Just go stupid. Please. Do all those comics where she beats everyone. Just have it be a what if Looney Tunes level of stupidity. Oh, that'd be great.
What if Squirrel Girl saved the day in Endgame?
What if Squirrel Girl KO'd Thanos?
I want that so bad.
Well, it'd be more plausible than what the fan theory involving Ant-Man was.
I also love where it's like it had to be his ass, couldn't be his nose, couldn't be his mouth, couldn't be his ear, had to be his ass.
Yeah,
wouldn't work otherwise. Thanos, as I think, as I believe Paul Rudd referred to it as. Thanos, I love it.
Thanos.
Yes. But speaking of, I don't know how much more we want to get into the movie because those end credit scenes are kind of nuts.
Yeah, let's wrap up talking about the end credit scenes because before we recorded, I was just on the TV Tropes page trying to look up like just kind of filling in the gaps of what I missed. And as far as timeline goes, like it's still kind of up in the air where exactly Shang-Chi lies. Because we know from that scene that Bruce Banner still in the sling.
Yep. And he's back to being Bruce Banner.
Yep. And Captain Marvel has her long hair again.
Yeah, which she had as long as hair as like me and Jacob in Endgame. A little bit longer. So
yeah. And then she gets that message, like she gets that little like a beacon, which I can only assume is Monica Rambeau.
Could be.
Yeah.
And I can't think of her name. The other Marvel, can't think of her name.
Kamala Khan.
Kamala Khan, thank you. God, that's just nuts. Well, that's coming up. It's crazy.
And then it ends with them and Juan doing karaoke.
Yes. I also brought this up with Mike. I think it's happening, and I hope it stays this way, that Wong is basically becoming the new Coulson of what Coulson used to be in Phase 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would call him like the Coulson and Nick Fury. That way he doesn't have to die.
Yeah, because
the exposition guy who just kind of tags along,
Yeah, and he has the perfect nonchalance, like not caring about any of this, and he has the perfect way to talk to anyone. Where do I have to go? Tell me. All right, I'm gone. They're just in the bar. And he's like, I don't even have time. Just get in the portal. We'll talk later. It'll be easier. Just get in there.
Yeah.
Thinking with portals.
Okay. Exactly. And you don't even have to explain how stupid it is. He just needs to know where they are. It's perfect.
Yep. It's magic. You don't have to explain it.
No, and we still don't know where Wong's going in freaking No Way Home. Or why the Sanctum Sanctorium is in winter.
Yeah, that was another thing when watching that trailer. I'm like, why is it?
You know what? We should seriously consider for this website, guys. What we should seriously consider doing is making trailer reaction videos.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I really wish we thought that sooner before Spider-Man No Way Home trailer came out. So
don't worry, when trailer number 2 drops and we see all 3 Spider-Men, we'll be on it.
Yeah.
Part of me thinks, honestly, and again, Andrew Garfield, bless his soul, promises he's not in this movie. But if all 3 of them are in there, which I believe they would throw Scrooge McDuck levels of money at this to get all 3 of them.
Yeah.
That they don't show Toby in the trailers. They show Garfield. But it's borderlining endgame portal scene with Toby coming in at just the most, the rookies can't handle this? Right. You gotta have him come in, and it's just like, I hope if that's true, they have the balls to save Toby. I hope.
Yeah, it would be like a freaking orgy in the theater if that happened.
I'd be losing it. I'm not even one of those people that thinks that it's that sacred of a Bible. I believe those movies are good. I don't think they're as good as everyone else says they are when you look at them with a later lens, but still the amount of just legacy those movies have.
Here's the thing. I don't trust Sony to not spoil the reveal.
That is part of it, but I am honest to God wondering, because of how much Marvel is in it, if they might have any type of say in this, because they didn't do a good chunk of the reveals that normally would have happened with Sony in the Far From Home trailers.
Good point.
So that's my only hope. My only hope.
Still, I think at least one of them, if not both, will be in the second trailer.
Oh, I agree. Or they'll be just, you want to be really cocky if they did it, if you just have Garfield and Holland checking their web shooters, and then you just have in the background going, you have web shooters, and then it cuts.
Yeah, that is so lame. Yeah, I have like a little slit on my wrist, that works somehow.
Exactly. It's just, I better hope I don't punch someone in a weird way. I just always love how the web shooters are like, I have an exact amount of pressure that I push to make sure so that it doesn't happen when I close my fist.
Yeah.
Jacob, I can't remember what the comic is called, but if I can find it, I will send it to the RPC chat. There is a comic that they made after the Maguire films, or after the first one or the second one, I can't remember, where in comic books they wanted to make it so that Spider-Man had organic web shooters.
Okay.
And the exact path that it gets to there, I'm a little bit sketchy on, but it involves him getting borderline alien mouth raped by a spider goddess, and then he gives birth to himself. And then he has organic web shooters. He turns into a giant spider monster, gives birth to a new version of himself just to give himself organic web shooters. I can't remember what the comic's called, but wow, it's 12 buckets of stupid.
Comics are weird.
Or another one. Look up Spider-Man Reign, where you find out that he killed Mary Jane because his semen is radioactive. I'm not kidding.
Why do you tell me this, Brock?
Because when I talk about Spider-Man, I have to tell people about those two comics. They're so dumb. What's even dumber is when he realizes that he goes to dig her up. She's completely skeletal, but she still has her flowing red hair. So you see him hugging a skeleton that's completely gone, but it still has bright red hair.
Oh.
Oh, it's great. Spider-Man comics.
I love this medium.
Comics are dumb, and it's why I love them.
Yeah.
But yeah, Shang-Chi
Now I don't even know what a good comic or a bad comic looks like anymore.
That becomes a part of your opinion after a while.
Yeah.
Because I know some people that think Reign is a good comic book, and I have a hard time talking to those people.
Before things get too off the rails,
yeah,
let's talk about the final stinger, which of course I loved because it's
your favorite character.
It's Xialing.
Yep.
Turning her dad's old base of operations into another club.
Yep. It's just setting up. It's like, hey, and again, I said this with Mike, they're not purposely doing it, but I do love how they're like, it was really cool how we had a sibling rivalry in these first set of movies. We can have another one. And now they can make the 10 rings into an insanely cooler version of Hydra.
Yeah.
They can be a cooler version of Hydra, and they can also be a less boring version of the Hand.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
Because I think the Hand was like the best in Daredevil season 1, but in Daredevil season 2, Elektra was cool, but I was just not into the overuse of the Hand.
You know when the Hand is best? When it's the foot in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yes.
There's also a comic, Jacob, where you find out there's one where they tie together the origins of Daredevil and the Ninja Turtles, where the same chemical that blinded Daredevil made the Turtles what they are. It's a random one-off where they tie the origins together. Comics are dumb.
And that's why they're great.
Yep. His head's breaking apart. He's like,
yeah, I'm just going to stick with the movies.
Leave it up to us. We'll bring up the stupid shit every now and then.
Yeah. I just came on board to talk about the movies. I didn't sign up for this shit.
I'm sorry, Jacob, but but that's what the show is all about.
Okay,
We should have another
I
podcast
haven't
where we talk
felt
about our
like
dumbest
this
comic book
much of a
memories.
brain melt since Josh read Ready Player 2 and the Thanksgiving one.
Oh dear God.
I was like, Josh, why do you do this to yourself? Guys, I think we need a stage intervention.
That's like why I watch bad creature movies, because I hate myself.
And then Cameron was like, okay, you know what, keep going. And I was like, no, Cameron, don't do it! You fool!
You've fallen into the abyss.
It's your funeral, man. It's your funeral.
How many times we gotta keep telling you, old man? All right, yeah. We could all say that we all love the movie.
Oh, by the way, Hayden just said in the Renegade Marquee chat on Facebook that apparently Ready Player One is a twist. Rating it is a coping mechanism used in Dear Evan Hansen.
Oh boy.
God, that movie just sounds worse and worse every time I hear about it.
We will talk about that one another
Brock,
day.
are you familiar with the premise of Dear Evan Hansen?
Roughly. But that could be a subject for a different day because we got to close this puppy off before we
Okay,
go too far.
fair enough. I was hoping I would get my revenge on you.
You could get it on another podcast when we're live again. You could drop that on me.
Okay.
You keep that one in the chamber.
Oh, yes. For now, Jacob, where can everyone find you online?
You can find me on Facebook and Twitter under J.O. Crable, Krehbiel. I'm also part of the Renegade Pop Culture Facebook group, and I have my own Letterboxd account, Streamin Demon.
And Brock?
You can find me everywhere at Organoid Zero. Streaming mostly. I got my new streaming setup done. It looks really slick, and I was literally just doing it right before we got here. I'll be streaming Life is Strange for basically this whole weekend, depending on when this gets put up. So, yeah.
And you guys can find me on Twitter at Captain K42. You can check out my letterbox at letterbox.com/CoachK42 and find me in all the various Facebook groups just at my name. You can find Renegade Pop Culture on Facebook and Twitter at Ren Pop Culture. You can look for us on Podchaser, listen to all of our podcasts on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you listen. And last but not least, everything can be found at renegadepopculture.com. Need an escape? So do we. That'll do it for this episode of Renegade Capes. Thank you guys for joining, and we will catch you guys later.